2023 was a bad year, we all know this. But there were some bright spots in this horrible year. This was a year with a bunch of great things in it. Time to go over my favorite media from this year. Starting with video game updates. Fortnite had the entirety of Chapter 4. It was a chapter with really high highs and some really low lows. Ultimately, I really liked it, but there's a chance I might not have as much fondness for this chapter like I do for Chapter 3. Overwatch 2. It had some good seasons, but I can't tell you the last time I actually bothered to finish a battle pass. I always burned out before getting very far. Other than that, most games I play I feel had some good updates this year all around. Pokemon Violet had some great DLC. The Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass also ended on a really high note. Now let's get to my 10 favorite games from this year. I wish I played a few more games like Tears of the Kingdom, Payday 3, City Skylines 2, despite both of those games having problems, Advanced Wars, Mario RPG, Alan Wake 2, Nick Brawl 2, Johanna Parhelion, and many PS5 games, but alas, I always like rhythm games. And Theater Rhythm Final Bar Line is one of the best rhythm games out there. I love Theater Rhythm on the 3DS. Final Bar Line is just straight up the best one. It has a metric ton of songs, especially with the DLC, a bunch of collectibles and characters. It is a full package. It is only at number 10 because I feel like it could have added more characters. Not having Jack Garland in this art style is a crime. This year, I wanted to try and get into some new hobbies to expand my horizons a bit. One thing I wanted to try was Warhammer models. It ended up being too expensive and complicated for me right now, but Warhammer 40k Bolt Gun is a very high quality and incredibly fun boomer shooter that had me enthralled from beginning to end. It has a great look and feel that not only puts the game in line with retro shooters, but also the 40k universe. My only real complaints are that I wish there were more of it. I put Sonic Frontiers on my top 10 list last year. As 2023 went on, I ended up changing my mind a bit of the game. I did not like it very much at the end of the day, but I still really enjoy this series a lot, and The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, in my opinion, is the best Sonic game since Sonic Generations. Such a funny and delightful visual novel that has me dying for more stuff with the extended Sonic cast. I know Superstars and Dream Team came out this year, but I never got around to playing either. Pizza Tower. What is there to say about this game that hasn't been said a million times before? The hype was very warranted. Just an incredibly fun and funny platformer. I got a PS5 for Christmas, and got a game with it too, Spider-Man 2. I loved the first Insomniac Spider-Man. I might love Miles Morales even more, but man, Spider-Man 2 is a fantastic game. The gameplay was incredibly solid and fun. I love how many collectibles there are, and the game looks gorgeous as well, and all of the performers fucking killed it. Yuri Lowenthal is probably my favorite Peter Parker, and Tony Todd's Venom was inspired. The MJ missions were fun. I have no clue what weird nerds we're talking about. Unfortunately, I have some real nitpicks and criticisms with the story that makes me unsure if it is my favorite of the series, but everything else is coming together to still make this a damn good game. I never really played the new Super Mario Bros. Series. I never grew up playing them, so I don't have the fondness many have, nor do I have the hatred. But I don't need to care about those games to know that Super Mario Bros. Wonder is a gorgeous evolution of 2D Mario and is one of the best. Such a delightful game that had me grinning from ear to ear the whole time. I cannot mention how many times I exclaimed out loud when something cool happened. Metroid Prime Remastered. Turns out Metroid Prime is still one of the best games of all time. Truly, I am shocked. I loved this game before and I love it even more afterwards. Despite me being kinda bad at them, I absolutely love fighting games, and Street Fighter 6 is one of the most tightly designed and fun fighting games to play. I know it's controversial, but I loved the World Tour mode, which helped me understand the mechanics more, in a fun and silly way, with frustrating elements along the way. One big problem that bothers me and prevents me from putting this at the top, the post-launch support has been disappointing to say the least. Overpriced avatar cosmetics galore. I'm a Nintendo fan, and now a Fire Emblem fan's worst nightmare. I love Fire Emblem Engage. It is one of my favorite Fire Emblems even. It has a weird-ass but memorable cast and some of the best gameplay in the series. The story is pretty generic. I wouldn't call it terrible, but it is very bog standard. And now let's do the honorable mentions. Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising. I played a shit ton of the original and the beta, but I'm still on the free version, so it would feel weird putting this on this list, but rest assured I love this game, and it's one of my favorite fighting games. F-Zero 99. The main takeaway I had from this game is that I liked F-Zero way more than I thought I did. So, my number one, it's a cheat answer, but it is my list and I can do what I want. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed is fucking amazing. I played Xenoblade 3 for the first time this year and absolutely loved it. This might even be better. Everything about it oozes quality and has a great story with great characters. I love the new gameplay and areas with great music, and it was just a plain amazing experience. So with the games out of the way, I also wanted to start adding my favorite other pieces of media from this year, starting with music. My top 3 albums of the year are pretty simple. Number 3, The Silver Chord by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. I love Giz so much. This is a solid electronic album that can feel overcooked or undercooked in some areas. Number 2, Cracker Island by Gorillaz, another great Gorillaz album with some really great features. And number 1, Petrodragonic Apocalypse by King Gizzard. So this quickly became one of my favorite albums from them. I already enjoyed The Infest the Rat's Nest, and this feels like an evolution of that. I didn't watch too many TV shows this year, but I absolutely loved Loki Season 2 and wanted to give that a shout out. Fuck the AI posters though, fuck that all the way. The last category for this year is movies. I'll go over my top 5. Number 5, TMNT Mutant Mayhem. I did not think I would enjoy this one as much as I did. So much heart and humor. It was also incredibly visually impressive, and it's become some of my favorite versions of the TMNT. Number 4, Barbie. Greta Gerwig does it again. Hilarious and emotional with a fantastic soundtrack and visual style. Number 3, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I do not think I could say anything about this movie that has not been said before. I saw this twice in theater simply for the spectacle of it all. My jaw dropped at points when I saw it for the first time. The behind the scenes issues are making me think less of it, unfortunately. Animators should not have to suffer. Number 2, Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves. I had no expectations coming into this, but this movie was incredibly fucking fun. Everyone in this cast nailed it, and it truly felt like I was watching a game of D&D. And number 1, Shin Kamen Rider. This movie was exactly what I wanted it to be. Kamen Rider is cool. And that is it for my favorite things of 2023. This year I am already planning on uploading more than just shorts. If you want to see whatever I come up with next, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. In the description I have linked several places and charities where you can donate money to help the people in Palestine who have been affected by the attacks.